I am Ann-Peggy Divine. Welcome to the Divine Design, the podcast where we unfold heaven on earth and reframe spirituality and theology for a new cosmic era. Your journey on human evolution and integration of your divine design starts here. As a quiet extension of what I'm sharing here, you may have heard me speak about the architecture series. These books are now available for those who feel ready to go deeper. The architecture of light, the architecture of future medicine, the architecture of the living ethos, the architecture of peace. Each book explores a different aspect of how life organizes itself when survival patterns are no longer in control, and a new architecture begins to emerge. If you feel resonance, you can find them on Lulu and on my websites, divinedesign.it and anpeggydivine.com. Namaste. Welcome back, Ilaria!
Hi, thank you for having me back.
Yeah, we planned that.
Yeah, that was really not natural. We tried to fake it, and here we are.
Yeah, and we have spoken a little bit, and actually we lined up a week ago just to come us, and that was very interesting because then we get to know each other even deeper.
Yeah, definitely. That's always good. And whenever we start talking, it opens up gates for the I don't know, the universe. It's like everything is gonna be like flowing. So here we go. Let's do it again. Let's be us.
Yeah. And when we spoke last week, we spoke a lot about femininity. Because it's almost like we are asked or invited to embody more of the feminine side of us.
Definitely. I feel like this is going on for so many people at the same time. Many of my friends are experiencing the same thing, the same call of being more authentic and embodying more of their femininity, but in a way that is not like usually in the common sense of it, like in the common sense of the word itself. It's really like an embodied experience of feeling like a queen, that kind of queen that you only imagine as it is. Like every one of us has a different perception of it, and that's the point. Like we are, as women, I feel, or feminine, whoever like identifies as one, like, but the thing is that we are really called to embody it for some reason. That's interesting because like there is not even a specific reason for it. It's more like, yeah, I want to be this. And so we spoke about that. We spoke about like how we actually, as I think, like as women, we always rely also on the feedback of other people and how other the community, like having other women around who can actually mirror us is really helpful to become aware of what we are not noticing in ourselves, because we all have done a lot of work on ourselves, and we've been to therapy and we've been to that workshop and we've done spiritual path and whatever for several years, but still there is something that makes your feminine be like, I'm not sure I'm safe to show up in this on this planet, right? There is always that thing that feels like I'm not sure if I want to show this part of myself to everybody. So I think like this thing is evolving
Yep.
recently for like collectively, and we are getting more and more confident in I'm safe. I'm not only safe, I'm here. Here I am. And like not shouting, but like yeah,
Yeah.
embracing it like more powerfully. So that's I think that's the summary of what we found out last week, let's
Yeah.
say, in
Yeah.
our intimate phone call.
Yeah, and for me also it has been natural because I just finished the book, The Architecture of Karma. And the next is the architecture of sisterhood. I haven't started it, but I will start it in some weeks. And I have reflected because I went back to my notes. I had a ceremony a year ago, 13th of March 2025. And that ceremony was, I will for always remember it because something deep happened. The femininity took over in me. So I had a ceremony, a private ceremony, and in that, first of all, I saw Heather, the feminine energy outside. So I saw the dance and I heard the music and all of that. And it was so amazing, kind of just observing the femininity. And then when I was in it, suddenly the femininity came into me. I embodied it, and my body started like this, and I was it. It's like, wow! And I had so many insight and so much deep wisdom in this Heather energy, and I wasn't familiar with it. So this was new. And after that ceremony, it has opened more and more and more and more. And also, what it opened for me, more of this Egyptian wisdom, because I hadn't gone into that either. And now I have met you. So Heather taking over and not going into this thing, and it's like, wow, this is fascinating, because in this period, me and Colin, we used to meet almost every week, and he had such a strong connection to the thought energy. And in the beginning, when he spoke about it in the beginning of 2025, it was like, okay, I couldn't relate so much. But after the Heather energy took over my body and I really went into that deep, and something, it was a big shift in me. Then I could relate to Colin and the thought energy in a totally different way. So that opened something in me, and now when I will start writing this book about sisterhood, it is the Heather energy and the femininity and all this archetype, because there are so many expression of it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That's so cool. It is amazing. And when you were talking, I was like, oh my gosh, like literally this at the same time last year, that's when my ex-boyfriend manifested, and I was like, I knew it. I wrote on a diary, I was like, I'm meeting my man, before the 29th of March. And that's when we met, and that's when we started this very intense relationship, like very, very very deep. What is interesting, and I'm curious to ask you about it, it is like how did it last? Like how long that energy lasted? Because I felt like something was open, like a portal was open to something very, very deep. But for some reason, probably our like patterns, like I don't know, I think that was like a very intense moment in which like our very unconscious patterns like took up and they they took everything. And it feels like it lasted, for me it lasted like a month. It was like very intense at the beginning, this gate opening, something new, like something really desired, and then all of a sudden, poop, the old coming back and be like, here I am again. And the relationship didn't last. But it definitely that opened up something that stayed
Yeah.
like in me, and I've been nourishing it and learning a lot through it. And also my ex-boyfriend, he gave me the same feedback. He learned a lot through that time. That definitely that was like a very intense and healing moment. But I'm wondering what in your experience this happened at more or less at the same time. I'm wondering like if you had like the same experience of like this very intense new healing powerful energy, and then all of a sudden the old taking the control of it and be like, I'm here. I'm playing.
Well, for me, last year it was in waves. It came so many waves, and I last year and also this year I do at least two private ceremony every month. I do full moon ceremony and new moon ceremony, and sometimes I do more. Or but I, because when I do ceremony, so I kind of adjust to the cosmic, because the planets and everything that happen, it's affect us. So it's kind of a portal that opens, and the downloads are, yeah, it comes so many downloads. So it's kind of, I follow the cosmic calendar, if you call it that, and deliberately open a portal to see what does this hold. So when I wrote three of the books, the architecture book, they came, all the three came on full moon, and the three last come on new moon. I didn't plan that, but that was kind of, oh, so I use the natural rhythm on Mother Earth, on cosmos, kind of. So I use that rhythm and open to what wants to be born or come into form. And sometimes it is stronger than other, and some, and I remember particularly the 4th of December, in end of 2025. This week, that was so strong that week, and also the Heather week. But I need to go to my notes, because it, when I open, it comes so much. It's kind of, if I should hold all of this, it's almost overwhelming. So I have so many notes. I could have given out a lot of books just with my notes of everything that comes in. So I write, and so it's like, it's almost endless when you open this portal. Yeah. So I have started, particularly in the beginning of 2025. I just said this is so important. I did it also. No, I did it in 2024 also. Yeah, 2024 and 2025, and now it's like, this is so easy, because it's just to follow the rhythm. If we listen to Mother Earth, if we listen to cosmos, if we listen to the natural rhythm, because we as feminine holder, when we are talking about the femininity, if we just listen to our rhythm and attune to the divine rhythm, the cosmic rhythm, Mother Earth, then it's like so easy. We are so supportive. So when you ask when did it started, I open up every full moon and new moon. So it's the and also if I listen to Mother Earth, or just the surroundings, if there are something going on, I just open to it. So I think it is about also be a better listener. That is also a feminine. It's like listening to, okay, now it's a moment there we can, like the 8-8 portal. That has been a portal that a lot of people have spoken about. So I also used that portal. So I remember that I did something 8-8. So I tried to use kind of, not to use, or to align.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Yeah, I totally understand what you're talking about because I had that experience like many times as well, and I know what you say when you say it is about to be a better listener. I totally agree with that. It's like open up to be receptive and open up to receive the information, give it importance because sometimes we hear stuff we don't listen, right? We can, something can be told us so many times, and we don't actually process it. We don't give it the time to be processed and like really take it in, you know. So that's the part that I was curious about. It was more about like, do you think that this information that you like received and you channeled um, have been like grounded in your body and in your experience, so you had the feeling that you needed to hear it more and more times in different forms? Because that's what I'm experiencing. I'm feeling like that's part of the feminine energy that I'm exploring, this receptivity. Because, of course, as like many women could have experienced, like being receptive sometimes can be dangerous, can feel like a little bit like a threaten, like being in that like passive, which is not really passive, but like
Yeah.
sort of like, okay, I'm open, I'm receiving position. But I feel like that's what is changing as well. Like this receptivity that is also like processing information. It's more like I'm open, I'm joyous, I'm safe, I can take it in, I can receive this new information, I can take my time to process it, and my body takes its own time to process this. So it's on different levels of receptivity. It's not only the consciousness, it's not only the mind, it's not only your heart, it's also your body and your visceral, everything. Your gut is taking it in, is your gut understanding this information. So I'm wondering like, are you experiencing this processing in your body as well, or of all the information that you're talking about?
Yes, and when you talk, it's kind of okay, what happened? Because after this ceremony, and I had a ceremony 2 weeks after the two ceremony I had in March last year, then I was kind of guided into a DNA detox. So that was when something radical happened in me, and I started to have almost like pain in my bone. I had never experienced this before. It's kind of like, what is happening with my teeth? What is happening with my bone? And I went into a DNA detox and recalibration, and I had never heard about it, but I was guided and I opened. So if I should really embody this femininity, the heather energy is kind of the divinity of us, then I had to upgrade my bone structure, because in our bone structure we have the ancestral lineage, kind of what my mother, what my grandfather, great great great, a lot of ancestry. So my I went into a deep, deep, deep detox, and I was guided in all of this what to do. So for a half year, I was into a deep DNA detox. And after doing that, it was kind of, this is what you can teach other to do, because we go in kind of repetition and pattern and all this. And it is because we have done so many things, we have so many programs, but it is what we really need. It is not more program to the mind, because it is not the mind that need anything. It is a detox, a reset. So what I call the DNA detox and recalibration, it is a clearing of our bone structure. So what happened after I opened to this, and the heather energy and the feminine energy took over, and it was after that a very deep um, detox happen. And every day I changed my diet. I haven't changed my diet for so many years, and I did sauna and I did so many things, and all of this what I did, I have made a program about it, because I had never heard about it, but I was guided because I opened up to it and let this um, energy take over. And when I say it, it's like, oh, it is only for women. No, we can do it as men also, because men also have kind of the ancestor pattern in us. We have at least 7 generations in our DNA. And I had actually a regression on myself yesterday, and then I saw that we also can feel, if you want, generation even longer than 7 generations. So it is deep. It is kind of, because we have done the same pattern for so many years. We haven't changed the pattern. We have just reinforced. It's kind of like karma, the same for so many years. So this is a total shift. It is recalibrating and detoxing our bone structure, because our DNA is in the bone. That's the densest of our physical essence, kind of.
Hmm. I love that. I love this. It is like a very interesting way to experience like this change, right? And um, I love that your way to process it and the way in which you are experiencing it, it is really opening up to something that is beyond yourself, and you just, make it, you allow it through you. Of course, like I can understand how not everybody relates to this experience, because everybody is experiencing it in completely different ways, and can be like a little bit um, you know, it is always unique and in different ways, but I can understand how even like it can be like, oh, that's not my experience, I don't relate to this. But actually, if you really think about it, like, did you change how you eat? Did you change the people that you are surrounded about? Did something change in your life right now? Like, even like in a very concrete human way, did you change? Like, did you start noticing that you're drinking water? I feel like those changes are happening for so many people at the same time, even if the reason why consciously they are doing this change,
Mm.
it is different. Like, even if like they are not channeling information, they are not doing rituals, even if all of this, I feel like this is happening to so many people at the same time,
Yeah.
like challenging really our future, challenging like are we really, we really want to continue on this direction? And I feel like so many people are questioning this thing right now. And as you can say, like with at the bone level, like for real, like deep. So it is deep, it is like challenging everything that we know about, like our what we have been taught, or even just in our bodies and our DNAs, what we used to do and what we are used to be. It is challenge right now. So as you said, like it is not like just a feminine thing, it's not a women thing, it is for everybody. And I feel like we are all called in this moment to be more authentic, and also like let go. Like we just called to, as you said, like this detox process which is happening to the bone level. We
Yeah.
are all called to let go of things. Like I feel like even what is going on in the world right now, like all of these conflicts, and we are in this moment of what is it gonna happen, right? And rather than feeling powerless and feeling like we don't have any like impact on this, we actually can impact this by, like, for a moment, remembering what is really essential for us. What is the reason why I'm here? Do I have a future? How I want it to be, right? Now that is your future like questioned somehow. Are you gonna survive this thing? Okay, now that is questioned, which was always on the plate by the way. Like we always knew we are gonna die one day. There's
Yeah.
something that we always knew. So it's not something that, it's a new information, but somehow we are reminded right now. We are reminded that this is like, okay, this is what's going on around you. So wake up. What are you gonna do about it? So I think instead of freaking out, we can allow ourselves to just be, be yourself, be authentic, be whatever you want to be, and let go of whatever is not allowing you to be yourself. Let go of that friend that you love and loves you, but isn't, it keeps you there, it keeps you where you don't want to be anymore, where let go of that habit of drinking that thing that is toxic for your body, because you already know,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, what to do. But at the
Yeah.
same time, just be, keep. I think the real gift right now is also the consistency part. Like it's not only about having an intuition, it's not only about that haha moment that you have for a moment about how important it is, all of this. It is more about reminding yourself with consistency. So keep doing it, keep being it.
Yeah.
Remember, and just for as long as it is needed for your body to really take it in,
Yeah.
because the body needs that
Yeah.
repetition. You
Yeah.
go to the gym, you don't go once and you see results. You keep going.
Yeah.
And while you're going, you will keep learning
Yeah.
through it. You will repeat something, but it's never going to be the same as the beginning. Because every time you go, you will have more awareness, more body awareness, more, you know, and every time you go, it's going to be challenging, like the first time.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So it is about the consistency, I think.
Yeah, it is. And also the experience that opened when I opened for this, I had no idea that I would go on another journey, kind of, because I have been on so many journeys, and it was like, I'm finished. It's not, we are never finished, but it's like it cannot be deep again. And I was so amazed because I have never heard someone talking about the bone health, kind of. And also I remember one of the day when I, after I had done this deep detox, and I was guided to really surrender, and I fainted because I was yeah, I fainted in, and I had kind of the what we talk about, the shadow voice and the light voice. And the shadow voice, you have to call the hospital, you have to call the hospital, because now you are dying. And the light does, trust. So what I did, I fainted, and I faint.
Angel
Yeah,
on your
yeah.
shoulder saying like, "Hey, no, that's dangerous. Just go." Yeah.
You will die here alone. But I remember that you will die here alone. They don't know what you are doing. You know that you are. This is the it. You kind of. It was an ego death in it, because I lived with parasite also, so I healed my parasite. So it was a radical healing when I went into this detox. So it started with this radical healing of the parasite, and I fainted into the light. And I remember, okay, take me now. I go into the light, and then I don't remember anymore. And then I woke up. Oh, it's like, here I am. Oh, I fainted it, and then
Still here.
yeah, and then the parasite was totally gone, and I had lived with parasite for how many months was it? It was yeah, I think it was 14 months, 14, 15 months I had lived with parasite. So it was it. So first the parasite, and then the detox just continue, and uh, also I didn't know that I had parasite. Yeah, I knew it the year before, but it is not common to think about in Norway and the Nordic countries that we have parasite, because normally this is more like in other countries. But I know the day I got the parasite, because I felt it. I felt that something happened to me. But I learned so much. I spoke with the parasite. I spoke with all the parts of the body. So I learned so deep lessons through all of it, and the detox also. So I'm glad, even though crazy thing happens when I was at work because I fainted. Because when the parasite kind of, they had me for some periods, and the hospital said, we don't understand anything of your body is it is, it's not normal. They didn't understand. They did. They didn't understand, and they didn't think about parasites. So it was like I was there for 3 days, and they didn't understand anything. Said, your body is crazy. We don't understand anything.
I can relate, sister. That's exactly my experience with everything that I'm going through since so many years, and that's how I learned so much about medicine. It is
Yeah,
about like my body doing things that, for some reason, they are not in the knowledge of the doctors that I've been
yeah,
meeting,
yeah,
and I've been challenged to learn and learn and learn and listen to my body and learn and learn. And so I think like it's always good sometimes for us to have these like very weird body things that, yeah, for a moment it's like we don't know. Just, probably gonna be like that forever because we cannot help you. And then you don't give up and you keep like here listening to your body, and you go back in your intuition. What did my intuition tell me that time? Oh, and you start like like a detective putting together all the intuition moments that you had throughout the time, and you're like, I think it's this. And then you go to the right place and they confirm it to you. Yeah, I know how it feels. I definitely understand what you're talking about, which is interesting because I think that we will always be in this sort of detox state. Like as humans, I think we need sometimes, and that's my opinion. Okay, maybe I'm wrong, and that's fine. Um, to We need probably to let go of the idea that there is a moment of, okay, now I'm healed in general with everything, which with I don't mean on a body level you will always be sick about something for something. Of course not. That's not what I mean. But I feel like when you start spiritually growing and like learning that you can actually learn more about yourself, about your mind, about your but everything, then it becomes like a little bit obsessive. Like it becomes like a sort of that's the only way. I need to keep learning. I need to keep being more conscious because that was not, that was an unconscious behavior. I need to be, sort of becomes like a controlling experience. Like I was sleeping on that. Now I'm awake on that. Now I have to become awake on this other thing. It is not healthy too, because I feel there is like a sort of denial of our humanity in there. There is sort of like rejection of our imperfect nature, if we want to say imperfect, because there is no such a thing as perfection in the human experience. As consciousness, as these, as consciousness, you're everything, you're everywhere, you're perfect, you're complete, you're every possibility, right? But as a human being, you're not. As a human being, you see my hair is different from yours. It means that like there is a shape in that. It doesn't mean you're limited. That's not the meaning, but it is like a sort of like Um, I think it has to be balanced. These I'm infinite, I'm everything, I'm every with the human experience. What are you actually experiencing about your body? The limits of your body. One day is gonna die. That's a limit, if you want to say so for the moment, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is that accepting that allows you to actually play and appreciate those limits more. Sorry, my dog decided to come and be very doggy. But the thing is that you start appreciating. Can you hear me well? I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
sure. So it is about appreciating, I think, also the thing that you don't know about yourself or that you cannot heal about yourself yet. Like, um, that's part that we can still love and be open to as it is without like being obsessed with changing it at the moment. This doesn't mean like let go of the open, being open to learn from it or like learning how to heal it. No, but it is like allowing you to be human, allowing you to be unconscious, and that's fine. It is okay to be unconscious. It is okay to not know everything around you. It is okay to be sick. Because once you allow yourself and once you are really okay with it, then um, then you can actually experience it differently. You love the experience. When you don't understand another person, instead of being like, but that's me, it's one consciousness, that's the beauty of it. I don't understand you. You're different, you are unique. I'm having my unique experience, you're having your unique experience. They will always be different. We can try to communicate it to each other. We don't understand each other, but it's like that's the beauty of it. That's the amazingness of both being like the infinite universe, love, God in human form and the human form. So we didn't come experience this planet right now, me and you personally, and Ilaria. We are not right now in this form dogs. Right? We we chose these forms right now, and that's what we can, I don't want to say play with, but that's what we can learn to love and be this form as it is with the possibilities and impossibilities. We cannot fly right now. Not yet. Maybe. Who knows? I don't want to say never,
Yeah.
but I think it's that I think yeah.
Yeah, I love what you're saying, and I have another perspective on it also. Even I don't think that what you said is wrong, because I agree with most what you said. But well, as I see diseases and we talk about healing, we have created so much system and so much habitat that are not supportive at all. So when we are now going up to 5-dimensional reality or more aligned. So when we when Mother Earth, she's also in a transformation. So in, let's say, 50 years, just to take a, in 50 years, we will have upgraded the system that we have on Earth, and then we will not have so many sickness. So because now we have most of the sickness that we see in the world is habitat sickness. We become sick because of the habitat. We have created a system that is not supportive at all. It's kind of a hierarchy. It is someone on the top, profit, 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 profit. So we kind of have to go into one kind of form that's supposed to fit all, and most of all the one on the top is kind of serving them. And this is the old system. So when we, because this, it is kind of, if we see them, what's happening now, it's kind of a fight between darkness and light. And in this, it is a radical change. We are in a big upgrade. And when we start to create new system, because we are starting to create new system, even though we see war, we are really waking up. So if we see in the future, I used to go in the future, that's what I say it is, then we will not have so much sickness. So sickness is, today it is a reflection of what we have created in this dark age, because we have now lived for very many years in the dark age. We have created hell. We have lived in hell. So when we now upgrade to another being, like we are talking about, we are taking back our power, standing more in the feminine essence of us. And men are taking back their power and stand in their divinity, masculine divinity, feminine divinity. But all of us are kind of, all the shadows layers are going away more and more. And also the new babies, more and more, and new babies are born totally new. A lot of babies are born with Christ consciousness, pure consciousness. They have not been so programmed with ancestor DNA, so it's easier for them. And it is a big wave of this, and this is kind of a reset also for, someone call it New Earth, I call it Homo Luminous, the new way of living, kind of.
I totally I totally understand what you're talking about. And it is a beautiful perspective in my opinion, even though I honestly, if I think about it, I don't see it in the same way. Like I see it in a different like um because like I've been inquiring this topic a lot throughout my spiritual journey, and I've been thinking about it a lot, like in the humanity, the human history, at least the one the the one way that we can access to throughout like what is given to us, of course. But I feel like this pattern had always been there, just in a different way. Like this pattern of the the injustice, the system that works in a specific way, the sickness, like there always been has always been in a different way, maybe less, maybe more in specific times, and then it came back in a different form. And I feel like in this moment of time, this moment, we definitely have more access to information. We have like access to information. We can all like something is shifting very, very in a very big way, let's say, to in a very collective way as well. At the same time, the other things that always have been there in history, they are still here, but in a different form. Like we don't know if in the future maybe is gonna look like healthier from a specific point of view, but we don't know what kind of sickness will exist at the time, because that's what I think. Like, a very interesting study that has been done on the gut, because I have gut, challenges, but this study showed up that specific population that don't live like in cities, like like the Western mostly world, this population don't have sicknesses like Alzheimer or like those diseases
Yep.
that are very specific to our way of living in specific environments,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So that shows that even though we thought, okay, we don't have, I don't know, I don't want like the translation from Italian to English. What was the name? Peste. But anyways, like those like very, very killing diseases that were present 200, 500, 600 years ago that are no more killing people right now as they were at the time because we have specific vaccine or whatever that is. Now a new disease exists that at the time probably was not that bad and that frequent. So that's what I mean with we don't know what kind of diseases in the future will exist. With this, it's not said that we right now we don't have the possibility to actually like be conscious of this and be like, okay, we saw the history, we saw how things work. So we saw that in the human experience, we experience limitations, diseases, and stuff, and they always change with the time in which you are experiencing it. And that's where I that's where I invite people to yes, have the positivity and the open being open up with the knowing that we can actually do things about it
yeah,
at the same time with an attitude that doesn't come from oh there is something wrong with this moment, there is something wrong with this time that we live in, there is something wrong with me. That's the thing that I was trying to point out with like even before. That's the thing, there is nothing wrong because that's the point of
yeah,
being experiencing the human experience. That's how it is. And then when you understand that's how it is, doesn't mean like, okay, then give up, don't do anything about it. Fuck it, that's how it is. No, that's not what I mean. The thing is, that's how it is. And
yeah. But you have also said you have experienced a lot on your body, and since you have experienced so much, you know, because you have gone through so much, you just know. And when I say in the future, I know that we will have less sickness, it is because I have experienced it. Because all of us can travel in future, because time and space is just one dimension of existence. So since I have already experience it, I can say it for sure. But I totally agree with you. Yes, we will have sickness, but we will not have the sickness as we have today, because now we have most habitat sickness, because we have created habitat. Because when I go through my life, this life, and when I go to past life, almost every life I have had and sickness, and I have died because I have absorbed my surroundings, my habitat. So most of us, almost, I don't want to use percent, but most of us, when we die of sickness, it is because we absorb our surroundings. And you also put it very perfectly, because you said in particular area they don't have Alzheimer, they don't have. So we know that in some areas they don't have particular disease. It is because it is habitat disease. That's why I speak a lot about habitat disease, and we have thousands of different habitat disease, because the habitat on Mother Earth is totally fucked up. Sorry to say it, but we have fucked up our habitat. So that's why we are starting now, and a lot of youth is like, we are saying, think about the climate, think about, yeah, the environment. So we have raised our consciousness, and this is one of the biggest topic that we will use consciousness into, because we know that yes, we actually have to do something about it, because it is not only Mother Earth, it is ourselves, it is sickness for us. So it's much bigger than we speak about it, because the environment gives us habitat disease, that cancer is habitat disease.
I honestly that's what my view as well. Like I completely agree with everything that you said so far, and here this is how I see it. Like definitely like the environment has a big impact as well. Like in psychology, there is always like this view of like question, is it the environment? Is it like the inner,
Yeah,
how someone like is seeing the things. So usually it's a mix of both. They
yeah,
both have like a very important thing. You can be like in an amazing environment, but have like a
Yeah.
very closed mindset, no
Yeah.
open up spiritually, whatever there is, and the opposite as well.
Yeah.
So the thing is like finding the like sort of okay, that's what I can do within me, that's what I can um and I feel like most of the people, that's the scare, like the crazy part of this is that many of the people who really have that inner thing, sometimes they lack confidence in acting and in really actually having an impact on the environment and be like, I'm gonna do something about this. Like many people feel like, who am I to do this?
Yeah.
We need you. We need you. That person who says, who am I? Who has amazing ideas, who has amazing like qualities they are not bringing to the world. We need you to
Yeah.
like, but the thing is that when we understand that that's how um the game looks like who has more money has power, who has whatever that the game looks like for you.
Yeah.
Don't be scared of it. Don't like that's my mindset at least, and that's how I'm behaving. It is like, okay, that's the game, right? That's the game. I don't like it. I don't like the rules because I don't like, but I take it as a game. It is like, okay, who has the money has more power. How can I get the money? Instead of being like, I don't have enough money, I will never have the power, who am I to do anything? No, I see the things that need to be changed in order for health to be prioritized, in order for people to have less diseases. I see those problems that I would like to be, I would love to have an impact on. And then I see how the game works. I don't like the rules. Doesn't mean I can stay like you can still give importance to your integrity. Nobody asks you to not be in your integrity and what is right for you. But the thing is, stop being scared of how the game looks like. If the game requires confidence, take it. If the game requires, if you really care about this planet because you really see how this planet is, uh,
Yeah.
if something is really giving you so much energy inside, rather than complaining about it and wasting that energy that is giving to you, use it, play the
Yeah.
game. I'm pretty sure that all of us have tried at least once to play a game with friends, and we are willing to learn the rules, and we are willing to, even if we don't like it, we are willing to do it.
Yeah.
So that's all is needed from us. I think that we notice these things in the planet. It is like understanding, observing, yes, the environment has an impact, this has an impact, and now how I can have an impact,
Yeah.
how I want to be in this, who I need to be in order
Yeah.
to, and without ever letting go and forgetting to prioritize also our mental health, our health, and how we actually, um, yeah,
Yeah.
how we are.
I love that you bring up mental health because I have worked in mental health in Norway and a lot of health system, and I have been in them so many years, and they wasn't good enough. I know that we try, but it's kind of you have to do it because in Norway, 34% of uh, our workplaces are owned by the government. So it is. So we have to obey what they say is okay, what we can do. So what I have done the last couple of years, I said no, I will not work in that. Even though I know that when I worked in the system, I really contribute and help a lot of people. A lot of people say, "Oh, I'm so glad you were there. Do you know what that really changed in me?" But I went out of the system, making new system. I really try in several of the system. Can we do it like something? Sometimes they said, okay, we can do, but mostly they say, no, we are not allowed to do this. So it was so many times that I had tools in myself to help the people that came to the different system, and they say, well, we have to obey the government because they say we have to use this and this and this, and we cannot try this. So I said, okay, I need to go out of the old system to create new system. And for someone it can be hard. It's like, okay, I need to be in the system because I need my money. So if I was kind of, oh, I need to be in this system and do the same that we have done for thousands of years, just keeping doing it even though it don't work. So I went totally out of it, went to Lingen here, creating new system, writing new books, because we need, as you have said, a new paradigm of thinking, a new paradigm of being, and doing this in the old. It's like a battle. It's kind of and forcing the old. It was like I cannot force the old. I just have to go out of it, be the new. So I am the new system. And when you are the new system, then you can make them.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about, and that's definitely some like I think like one of the possible solutions, because in general, like I saw so many people being like, that's not the environment I want to be in, let me just move or create my own environment, like, create my own place of peace and my own heaven on earth, right? Because
Yeah,
at the end, that's it.
yeah.
And I think like I've been um I don't know how to say it. It's not I've been challenged to, but like I think by being I never see anything by for chance, right? Nothing is for me by chance. And the fact that I was born and raised in a city, like in Milan, which is not where I would love to stay or be. But for some reason, life every time made me come back here, even though I was called to follow that thrive of being somewhere else. And that's okay with me because I'm like, okay, I will see how being here, what can actually, how can actually allow me to do my things. You're
Crazy
good?
cat. Crazy cat.
No, I can see it. I cannot see it because of the,
Yeah, I know, but yeah, she. The feminine can be crazy too.
yeah, definitely. That's the thing. That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I was about to say. Like there are some things that like, we cannot control.
I
That's
have to
that's what
take her. Sorry.
sometimes there are some crazy things that you cannot really control that are part of it, part of the thing. Sometimes we don't even want to give up on everything to find our own peace, right? We don't want to move on the other side of the planet. We sometimes we don't want to do that. We don't want to do and create the whole society out of nothing, right? That's what I'm talking about. Sometimes we don't even want to do that. So that's why I'm saying I don't think it's always like white and black. There is like this thing in the middle of all the shades in between that you can like actually choose and be like, okay, I'm here now. How can I still maintain my aliveness, my authenticity, still contribute to this planet, still doing the things that I want to do?
Yeah,
And what rules do I need to learn and do my in on my own way, right?
yeah,
So, for instance, for me was like graduating and taking my degrees in psychology, even though it's my whole life knowing that the school system
yeah,
has so many gaps.
yeah,
So I'm
yep, yep.
like, I'm not saying that's how you should do it. Absolutely not. I'm just saying like we all can notice the gaps
Yeah.
and at the same time we can choose what are the things that we want to learn
Mm.
of this game, even if we can see the gaps in the game and be like, I don't like this rule. Why should I like, do whatever? I don't know, whatever that is, but we can still have an impact. We can still, um, yeah,
Yeah,
spread more love, spread more health,
yeah, yeah,
spread more joy in this like insane world, and hopefully live it a little bit better than how we found it, because that's the hope, right, at the end of the day. And if not, it is fine. Do whatever makes you, feel in peace. I hope you're in peace, and that's all. Like, I don't ask for anybody from anybody to do and be active. Like, be you. And if it's you that tells you, I want to do something about it, please do. Don't,
yeah. I want to, because we are going against the end, but I want to add one perspective because the cat is kind of, as you say, crazy. And the craziness, when I worked on, because we have spoken about this feminine energy. And for several waves, I started with this feminine in 2014, I think, when I went into it. And several times when I came to this feminine energy, it was so wild. It was kind of, it was crazy. And the cat just was destroying something. She was just destroying what she ate it in pieces. It's like the destructive part of, because nature can be destructive, and sometimes when I was for 2 years, I was in this shamanic path in nature and experienced the wildness of nature, and for a period it frightened me because you couldn't control it at all, and it was so wild and crazy. And it's like I really learned to have reverence for nature and the forces and everything, and also the femininity, because yeah, we see femininity as sweet and soft and tender and holding and all. Yes, it is that also, but it can be wild, it can be a lion, it can be so yeah, it can be so forceful. So uh, this cat really reminded me at that aspect with the feminine.
I love that. I love that. It is true. It is true. Like that's the thing is that when we see the feminine, the manifestation, the Gaia, the everything that happens on this planet, and we see the wildness of it, sometimes we are like, this doesn't make sense. Like
Yeah,
it should be quiet, it should be peaceful, it should be, and this should be is what is ruining us
yeah,
from experiencing it
yeah,
with love. Like these like ideas that we have about life and the expectations that we have around the feminine energy, whatever is feminine. Because I think I've been very, very into non-duality for so many years in my life, and that's
yeah,
how the non-dual view it is. Actually, everything is Shiva and Shakti. So the emptiness, the God, the masculine, it's actually also the feminine vibrating. So the vibration, everything that is manifested, everything that you see, it is the feminine. So everything is the feminine, everything that you're experiencing, right? So the empty stillness is the masculine aspect of the same God that is also the feminine. And the feminine can be wild. And what I love
yeah,
about non-duality is also that they see like many aspects of the feminine. So the feminine is also many different goddess and goddesses, I think. So the thing is that all of them have a different attitude, and one of like some of them are really wild,
yeah,
super aggressive,
yeah,
super scary also. And that's what I love about life, that's the thing, we can still experience the stillness, the peace, the quiet, like clear consciousness
yeah,
in all of the wildness of
yeah,
this world, and still appreciate it and love it even when it's wild, like using the example of me, my family being robbed last last week.
yeah.
um so many people are like, how are you, why are you taking it so chill, right? Like, why are you so excited about it? That's a bad thing that happened. I'm like, I'm not dissociating or bypassing it in any ways, because I had my moment of processing the emotions of
Yeah,
this, and sometimes they keep still come in waves
yeah,
in moments. But the thing is that life is showing me this thing, and I'm excited to learn from it. Like, I'm like, whoa, how many things are happening because this happened. I met so many good people in my neighborhood that I never spoke with before, and now they're opening up and be like so beautifully human with me. And I'm like, whoa, like I would never have spoken with them if that,
crisis
didn't
hadn't
happen.
happened. Yeah,
So I'm like understanding, the point is like applying this view with every negative experience that seems wild, that seems like so bad for you. And the positivity is not about, it's not about dissociating or not, it's not about not really being in touch with yourself or not process it. Take your time to process everything, but be careful of not you know, like, yeah, dive is like,
Judge it or say that this is not the way it should be, kind of.
some people would be stuck in that. Some other people would be stuck into the I need to feel it. And sometimes they drown in it. They just drown. They just go so deep they don't even remember they can actually come up and breathe. It is about like having a balance and process the emotion at the same time maintaining that lucidity of being practical, and at the same time manifesting your reality and perceive it in so many things. But the thing is, nothing is against you.
Yes.
Everything is one movement. Everything is really allowing you to be the most authentic self. And I hope you are, and we are doing our best. We'll never be perfect, and that's perfect. That's okay. And so cool. So thank you so much for this conversation. As always, I can't wait to like talk more.
Yeah, and we will probably make another podcast in some months. It's because, yeah, we have a lot on our feminine hearts.
So much is going on. So much is happening. So definitely
But now the cat is, see me, see me, see me. So she meow, meow, meow. So the feminine wants attention, so I have to give her some attention. And you.
my pets are just like trying to get in my room, like they keep like pushing the door and trying to get in since a while. I was like, yeah, yeah. And we have such a strong wind. Yeah, that's my dog again trying to come in. So
So thank you, Ilaria, for this podcast.
thank you. Thank you.
As a quiet extension of what I'm sharing here, you may have heard me speak about the architecture series. These books are now available for those who feel ready to go deeper. The architecture of light, the architecture of future medicine, the architecture of the living ethos, the architecture of peace. Each book explores a different aspect of how life organizes itself when survival patterns are no longer in control, and a new architecture begins to emerge. If you feel resonance, you can find them on Lulu and on my websites, divinedesign.it and Ann-Peggy.divine.com. Thank you for listening to the Divine Design podcast with Ann-Peggy Divine. Join us next Sunday for another heaven on earth unfolding conversation. With grace, reverence, and unity, may the path of your divine design light the way. From the divine in us to the divine in you.